Because Dust 2 is my favorite CSGO map, I'm gonna recreate it in my hardcore world. But how do I take all of this and put it in Minecraft? First things first, we need to decide on a location. This build needs to look natural in its surroundings, so I think this is the perfect place. So to get started, let's clear these trees. I didn't even know that this village house was here, but it's pretty clearly in the way, so it's gonna have to go. Now that we have all of the trees cleared, it's time for the worst part of any big land project: digging a massive f***ing hole. All of my tools are broken now, so I'm gonna make a quick run to my raid farm to get them repaired. Get the raid started, drop into here. Boom, we're done. Let's get out of here. As you can see, all of my tools are now in perfect health. And now we can finish off digging down the area that we need for the build. Ugh, there has to be a better way for us to do this. Maybe I shouldn't use this much TNT in my actual hardcore world, but I do want to see how effective it would be to use TNT instead of mining by hand. This isn't really any faster, so I'm gonna go back to manually digging, but instead of clearing every layer, I'm only gonna clear out the specific spaces we need for the build. Because I recently drained a huge circle of water around my Guardian Temple base, I already have more than half of the sand that we need. But that means there's still a lot of sand that we need to go get. Most of the sandstone that we gathered needs to be smelted into smooth sandstone, so we need to make a quick trip to my super smelter. While the super smelter's running, I'm gonna pop over to my tree farm to get all the wood that we need. By far the worst part of collecting all these items was stripping the logs. But now we have everything that we need so we can build the foundation. If you're wondering how I figured out the scale for this build, here's how I did it. Based on the unit height of characters in CSGO and the 2-block height of characters in Minecraft, we know that 31 units is equivalent to roughly 1 block. And now we can take this scale map of Dust 2 and estimate the wall sizes in blocks, allowing us to create a canvas for this massive build. The first part that I want to start decorating are the lower tunnels, but I can see that I've kind of messed up their shape a little bit, so I'm going to move this side wall over by about 3 blocks. This is not perfect, but it's a lot better than what we had before, and it feels way closer to the original game. Okay, that looks decent. Okay, now this thing just needs a roof. For the upper tunnels, I'm gonna do roughly the same thing. Moving over the B site, we're gonna need to make some more alterations to the walls. This wall right here goes a bit too far back, and this area over here goes way too far back. I kind of messed up the scaling for the whole B side. There's nothing I can really do about it now without redoing like the whole thing. So I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna start by placing in all the barrels and crates that this site has. Building a car is going to be really hard.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's try that again. Alright, I'm not saying this looks like a car, but this looks like something that a child would draw and then say it's a car, and then their parents would say, oh great, that's a good car. So I'm just gonna take it. Next, I want to fill in this massive area here with some buildings. The first thing that we need is calcite, but I'm not sure what the best way to find amethyst geodes is, so I'm just gonna fly over some ocean and hope that I see some. I'm not finding anything in the water, so I'm gonna switch to looking in caves. And I'm gonna count how many diamonds we get while searching for amethyst geodes. I didn't find shit in the caves either, so I'm gonna go back to searching the ocean. Finally. Thankfully, our next material is way easier to get. Next, we need over a shulker of quartz blocks. After a half hour of mining quartz, this is all I've gotten. So I'm going to switch gears and get the rest from villager trading. The last thing we need is wool. So I'm going to build a quick and easy sheep farm by the genius ENX04. All that's left to do now is knock down the temporary bounding walls to give us space for the buildings. While we're at it, I'm gonna fill in this area as well. Before we can keep building, we need a concrete duper and a bunch of mud so that we can make mud bricks. I don't understand exactly how the concrete duper works, but it uses the end portal and we're gonna need to clear out some space. Now we need to remove the end portal itself. And to do that, I'm gonna use mushrooms. Now to build the duper. The inside is a lot simpler. Man, I hope this thing works. Now that the sand duper's working, it's time to find a mangrove swamp. I think I remember there being one in this direction. Okay, nice. That was pretty easy to find. The next part that I want to build is on the back side of the site, and we're going to use mud, acacia wood, acacia planks, and the red sand we got from the sand duper. But we got to knock down all the walls first. After another quick trip to my raid farm to repair my tools, I was ready to start thinking about the next section of our build. But first, there's a couple things we need to take care of, like breaking down all the walls, building another portal, and gathering all the items for our next build. For the rest of the build, I'm gonna throw out Dust2's boring color palette and be a bit more creative. And the result is that the buildings look way better. And now we're in the home stretch of the build. The last area that we need to take care of are the buildings behind T-spawn. I'm super excited to finish this build, so let's just get right in. Before we finish this last house, I want to go through the build and add a lot of the small details like crates and other cars that we haven't added yet. Nice, I think this is the best car yet. Now we just need some more blocks. Moving on. I want to make sure that this barrel clump can be climbed just like in the real Dust 2. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. And another clump over here. And one here. Ooh, I almost forgot about this one. Now we need to put in the X that's in the middle of A site. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to put a circle around this to make it look exactly how it does in the game. That doesn't really work. I guess I'll just leave it as an X. Ow. Oh wait, I totally forgot to put the X in B site. Now I'm gonna add some lanterns. And one last beautiful car for good measure. I think it needs to be wider. Perfect.
You serious?
Last but not least, I'm gonna add some crates to the underside of CT. And now, it's time to put the finishing touches on the entire build. To tie this whole build up with a bow, we need to do some terraforming to blend it in with the terrain. Next, go check out how I recreated Avatar 2 in Minecraft.